Hello, everyone. My name is Rusty Draper. I wrote a book last year called Put the Kettle On, Honey, I'm Coming Home. You see, this was my signature saying and how I ended my radio show for about 25 years. The book is really my life story, and I wrote it mainly for my children and grandchildren and generations to come. I wrote about the good, the bad, the ugly, what it was like to grow up in small town Ontario, in that beautiful town called Gravenhurst up in Muskoka. You see, what you don't understand just yet is about my problem in life, and that's with dyslexia. I've had that struggle with reading all my life. And the fact that I got into radio and then as a pastor after that, it was nothing short of a miracle. In my book, I tell all kinds of funny and crazy escapades, especially during that radio career. But in retirement years, I found a new love in writing. Now, the stories that you're going to watch in this YouTube channel of mine are stories. I might as well level with you right now, folks. These stories are about nothing. Absolutely diddly squat. I call these little episodes chewing the fat. Now, I'm going to make a promise. I'm going to make a promise to you right here and right now that by watching these YouTube clips, your intellect level will not increase one iota. In fact, you might find yourself a little dumber than you were before. These stories, the whole purpose of these, and that's to take your mind off of the important things in life and to concentrate on the mundane. Oh, I don't know if you're like me, but I know this COVID thing is a serious, serious problem globally. I know that the national debt is gone nuts. We hear about the fighting and the infighting with politicians and the like. I'm not saying that these things need to be laughed at because they're serious matters, but I'm getting a little sick of it, to be honest. Yeah, so that's why I'm concentrating on the mundane. So let's get started. It seems to me that I've been officially old for a long time. Now you might ask yourself, at what age does a person officially become old? Mostly old, as you know, it's just a state of mind. But in some cases, one can get a good senior's discount at different stores. You shop somewhere else, it's not 55, but they've upped it to 60. But still, it's early. Strangely enough, folks, hang on to your seats for this one because you're just not going to believe it. Strangely enough, I know personally people who have turned down, they've refused a discount because they were too proud to admit that they qualified as a senior. Can you imagine that? For the life of me, I just can't get it. I'm sure that these are the same kind of people who would put a screen door in a submarine. I like being a senior citizen. I mean, there's all kinds of deals that are offered for we old folks. The problem is that when you're retired, you can't afford all the deals that are presented. One of my favorite things to do as an old guy is to look for, how can I put it politely? I look for sympathy from these, techie, savvy young people. They know how to operate all these little gizmos. And if you're questioning that, my friends, I want to tell you up front that this sympathy thing with the young people, it works like a charm. I've done it many, 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 many times. For instance, You see, if you're having trouble trying to figure out a problem with your cell phone, just go to any store that has a young employee, and ask for help. But the trick, my dear friend, is in the ask. The ask. You see, you approach that young person with a bit of a shy smile on your face, as if you're embarrassed to ask them. And then you say to them, I'm sure that you wouldn't mind helping an old man out in trouble, would you? Well, dear friends, that's like putting a hot knife into cold butter. They'll grab your phone so fast out of your hand because they can't wait to show you just how smart they really are. Now, if by chance you even detect the smallest sense that kid could care less about your dilemma, just give them a tiny bit of encouragement, let's say. Give them a little light pat on the shoulder and say something like this: "Boy, I wish I were as smart as you, son." I'll tell you, that kid will have your phone out of your hand and working in perfect order in just a couple of minutes' time. Another thing that old people love to do, and that's watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Oh, my wife, Pat, she's absolutely convinced that she's Vanna White, and I know absolutely that I'm Pat Sajak. We watch it every night. Now, as far as Jeopardy is concerned, I might as well level with you. I don't have the answer to 99.9% of the questions that are being asked. And if you're honest with me, you don't either. See, the way I look at it is, well, why would anyone have the answer to a question that they know right well they'll never be asked again as long as they live? Why would people tax their brains with such useless information? What am I referring to? Well, let me tell you this one. It was on a program, and the late Alec Trebek, he posed this question to his contestants. And here was the question. In Thus Spake Zarathustra, the voice of beauty speaks softly. It steals only into the most awkward, or no, that says awakened souls. Well, I messed up because of my reading, so I'm going to try it again. So listen carefully, folks. I don't want you to miss out on this. Alex says, in Thus Spake Zarathustra, the voice of beauty speaks softly. It steals only into the most awakened souls. Now, for you people out there of maybe less intelligence, I say that tongue in cheek, you didn't know the answer to that one. Come on, level with me. We're friends. You didn't have a clue what that was. Well, the answer to the question is this. His name was Friedrich, Friedrich Nettles, and there's a Z and a CHE at the end. I don't even know how to pronounce the name. Let me just get my glasses here. Oh yeah, Friedrich, Nietzsche. Now come on, you never heard of that guy in your life before. My point is this, friends. I really, truly don't believe that God in heaven ever intended people to be that smart. I really don't. But If any of you who are watching came up with the right answer, I'll tell you, I'll introduce you to my friend, the neurologist. By the way, if you want to fill your mind with stuff that really matters, you'll want to know things like Vanna White. She claps her hands an average of 720 times per show. Now go out and impress your friends with that information. So there you have it. Young people, the life of an old-timer. And by the way, my dear wife and I watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy every night, Monday to Friday. And by the time those two programs are over, well, it's bedtime. Yeah, you heard it right. Bedtime. 8 o'clock. You see, we people of age, we tire quickly. Well, that does it for now, folks. If you liked what you just heard, or should I say tolerated the nonsense, please tell others about Rusty Draper's Chewing the Fat. And if you don't like it, please don't tell anyone. I mean, let them get trapped the same way as I trapped you. Stay well, my friends, and may our Lord bless each of you a whole bunch. Bye-bye.